from Mass Clinic International, and today I want to continue from where I stopped in part 1. This is part 2 of how I got my first job after graduating from the university. In part 1, I stopped at principle number 5. Now, here, I want to continue with principle number 6 of how to get whatever you want. Now, I told you in part 1 that 2 questions came up from the solution I got, and one of them was where, and the answer was Lagos. Okay, now the second question was how. I didn't know the answer. All I knew then was those who study mathematics, they can either become teachers in government secondary schools or work in the bank. Now, I didn't want to work in any of those places. I didn't want to work in the bank. I did not want to teach in a government secondary school. So I sat down and mapped out how I can run a mathematics consulting firm. I said, first, I needed experience. Now, to get experience, since I don't want to teach in government secondary schools, then I needed to teach in private schools. Now, I did not want to teach in anyhow private school. I wanted the best private schools in Nigeria. Now, how do I get there? In those days, there was no internet. All the means of communication we had was newspaper, magazines, television, and radio. Now, as a student in my final year, I decided to be going to the library because the library had newspapers and magazines to be studying, to be checking through if I would get some of the private schools in Nigeria. Another decision I made was also to be going to the newspaper stand almost every morning to check if I will see magazines or newspaper that are talking about private schools. Private schools were very few in those days. I mean the best private schools. So I decided that I was going to I took action. I took action to solve my how. Okay, so I was going there. On one glorious morning, at the newspaper stand, I saw a headline that says the best 10 private schools in Nigeria. I said, this is beautiful. I looked at the cost of the magazine. I ran back to my hostel. I got the money. I came back. I bought the magazine. I sat down and devoured the magazine. Okay, you know what happened? The magazine explained everything I wanted to know about private schools in Nigeria. In Jos, in Port Harcourt, in Lagos, in different places. Okay, but there was one that appealed to me so much, and I said I was going to work in that place to get some experience. So during my youth service was in Port Harcourt. Okay, now during my youth service, I was teaching in a secondary school, a government secondary school. Okay, around June of that year, I applied to that school. I discovered from that magazine I studied in my final year in the university. Now, around July, we went on holidays. And fortunately for me, a letter came with DHL that I was being invited for an interview in that school. Okay, Port Harcourt was so far away from the school, but the letter said I was going to be paid my transportation to and fro if I come for the interview. Okay, now we were in holiday, summer holiday that time. Schools were to resume in September, and my youth service was to finish, or my passing out was to be in October. So during that holiday in July, I went to the school, and I was happy to see the school itself. Okay, the principal was a white lady. Okay, she gave me the interview of my life. Oral interview. After then, the following day, I was taken to the classroom for practical teaching. Now, after the practical teaching, the school was satisfied with my performance and they decided to employ me. I told them I was a copper. I told them I'll be finishing in October. They said that doesn't matter, that I should resume in August since I was still on holiday. So I came back, I traveled away and I came back in August. I resumed in August. They did training, real training for me and other teachers. Then for 1 month, then I traveled back to Port Harcourt. Then school resumed in September and I continued my youth service. Then when I finished in October, I went back to the school where I had already been employed. That is to say, my salary was going on in Port Harcourt in August, in September, in October. My salary was also going on in that school. It's beautiful how to get your job, your first job. Now, I want you to observe the principle I follow. Beside the 5 principles I mentioned to you in part 1, in this video, I want you to see the principle I followed. Now, I continue to do more research. So, principle number 6, do research or keep on seeking until you find what you are looking for. Seek and keep on seeking. Don't just seek and stop. Seek and keep on seeking until you get what you are looking for. Don't stop on the way. Whoever seeks and keep on seeking always find. That's principle number 6. Okay? Principle number 7. Don't forget this one. When I was going to the newspaper stands every morning, almost every morning, and I was going to the library every time to check newspapers, headlines, and to read newspaper about the best private schools. That was a sacrifice. Look, the principle of sacrifice is a serious principle. A lot of people want to get jobs, they want to get things done, they want to get things, but they are not ready to sacrifice. Friend, it will take you time. If you don't sacrifice, learn to sacrifice. Principle number 7, learn to sacrifice to get what you want. The last principle I want to tell you is decision. You see, I had already decided. I said I was not going to teach in government schools. I know I will not get the experience I needed to run a mathematical consulting firm in government schools. I said I was not going to work in the bank also because bank will not give me the experience I need to run a mathematical consulting firm. I said I was going to work in a good private school so that I can get the experience. If you listen to other videos we've done on this channel, you will discover that I got beautiful experiences in some of these schools where I worked. And that is how finally I resigned and I went to run my mathematics consulting firm. And those of you who have watched other videos, you can see what MCI, Mass Clinic International, did in this country and beyond. Okay, so I'm sure you understood how I got my first job. You too can get your own job if you follow all these timeless principles that I follow. Okay, I'm Sophie here today. Watch other videos, subscribe to our channel so that each time we upload any new videos, you can always be notified. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful time. Bye.